Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. It's a wonderful CMA showcase video because I'm thrilled. I have to say, absolutely thrilled to be joined by the most amazing lady, Patricia Allison. Patricia, welcome and thank you so much for being here today.
Jayney, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Oh, well, bless you. Thank you very much indeed. Patricia, you're such a fascinating lady and your work is extraordinary. You're making the most amazing steps in things like dementia care, senescence, and so on. So, would you be able to tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about the work that you do so they can get a good insight as to what you're actually doing out there?
Delighted. It began about 15 years ago. I was at the time working in energetics, and someone whom you may have heard of, Grandmaster David Harris, who's a Grandmaster in three martial arts and healings, began his own school, Shun Shan Tao, and I was working quite closely with the computer version and in fact gave them a protocol which has been in use for the last 15 years and has helped more than 200,000 people and is continuing on a daily basis because it's done by computer. I'm going to have a testimonial from their webmaster on my website when it goes up. And basically that was the beginning of my interest in approaching holistic medicine from a technological angle. And I'm now, in the things that I do, looking very much at how can we harness technology. So I am looking at using a variety of machines, high-tech machines, to help in as many ways as possible. But of course, there is no substitute for the therapist's feeling for what the client needs. And that's a large part of my work too.
Yes, it's really interesting. You know, actually, what you've just said there, it's the art and science of healing, isn't
Yes.
it? And there's no substitution for a practitioner's feel and take, not just instinct, but born of many, many years of experience, knowing what you're looking at and knowing what's going to be a good approach, an ideal approach for that individual client. And it's the individualization of medicine that we do so very well in the complementary medical field. So now I know that you offer some extraordinarily up-to-date protocols for dementia. Just taking one thing that you cover, and this is not available on the NHS, for example. So can you speak to that a little bit, Patricia?
Absolutely. There is a perception fostered by the NHS, unfortunately, that very little can be done for dementia and that it's all tea and sympathy, which is in fact, there's a major charity backed by my own bank who offer exactly that, tea and sympathy. There is no need for tea and sympathy, there is a need for cures. And whilst we are not allowed to use the word cure in what we say to the general public, we are allowed to use clinical results. We are allowed to use documented trials that have been done under proper FDA conditions and are written up in well-known medical journals. We are allowed to use scientific proof. And scientific proof is what I am going with. In one of the protocols that I offer, which I hasten to say requires a lot of work, there has been an 87% documented reversal rate, some of times with people with really quite severe dementia, most often obviously with people in earlier stages. And over the course of a 17-year period, which is how long this scientific trial has been going on, there has never been a case of a patient who complied with the protocol who then failed to remain reversed. The earliest patient, 17 years, still reversed. Much better, of course, is prevention. We don't want people to get dementia in the first place. And there are marvelous, marvelous methods of avoiding getting dementia, which begin with being properly tested. And once again, testing is something that is not properly done out there in the general world. but there are websites where you can get the test done very quickly, very easily, 100% free. And you then know whether you are at risk or not and what actions to take.
Yes.
Most people suffer for something called mild cognitive impairment, which is early stage dementia, and are aware that things are not quite right, but either because they're frightened or because everyone they know poo-poos it, they don't go and get properly tested, or if they do get tested, they do it through the NHS, and that doesn't really help them. So what I would say to them is go to apollohealthco.com and take the free tests they offer. That is your first step. Then come to me if you need help.
This is so extraordinary and so spectacularly successful. I suppose, I guess, putting myself in somebody's shoes, I think, first of all, the underlying issue, I think, is that a dementia diagnosis is so utterly terrifying. And so I understand why people don't go for tests, because it's just one of those things that you really would rather perhaps not know about, because we are led to believe that, yes, the only option available to you is tea and sympathy and a decline, which is just awful. Absolutely awful. So if people do go to Apollo Co, is that right?
apollohealthco.com.
Apollohealthco.com. Thank you for that. Yes, so we'll want people to go there. And then let's say it looks as though there may be something going on that they need to address. So they then come to you, and then what do you actually do with people? What can they expect when they come to you?
The earlier they come, the better. The first thing that I will do is conduct much more extensive tests in order to establish what will be the best protocol for them. In the early stages, we can expect to see improvement incredibly fast and reversal within about 6 months. With more advanced people, the protocols are more extensive and they take longer. But the first step is that we need to know exactly what kind of treatment the person needs, and we do that by extensive blood tests. Then once those tests have been done and we know exactly what to do for the person, I give them an individualized program, which, depending on need, may involve a consultative session once a week initially, if they're very advanced, once a month or once every 3 months, depending on the need. They also come into my wellness spa, because I call it a wellness spa, where they can get the most up-to-date treatments imaginable. They can get neuronics. First of all, we do an MRI, and then we get an individual program for that person. It's completely different for each person. We treat them with photobiomodulation, neuronics, photobiomodulation, which they call in America red light, but ignore what you may see on the internet about red light. That's, how can I put it, wishful thinking. You need a specific program for your specific issue, a specific protocol for you, and it's different for every person. There is something called the Goldilocks dose. So called because too little is bad, obviously, but too much is just as bad.
Yes.
You need the perfect dose for you, and we can only establish that, first of all, by tests, and later by discussion and by ongoing monitoring of the degree of progress that has been made. But we offer not just the in-clinic treatments, we also offer a 50-page document which outlines exactly what is needed to do at home. We also refer people to very, very helpful publications, such as, for example, Dr. Heather Sanderson's marvelous book, Reversing Alzheimer's, which put into language suitable for the everyday person exactly what they can do to help themselves. And so even if a person doesn't come to me because, let's say, I don't have space for them, or they feel that they aren't bad enough to need professional treatment, they can still get tremendous help by reading the right publications, to which I will refer them free of charge.
Oh, you're just amazing. This is absolutely fantastic. And whereabouts geographically are you? If somebody wanted to come to see you, whereabouts are you based?
I am based in Basingstoke.
Oh, right, okay. Just
And
down.
the particular treatments that I offer are available in America extensively and in Canada. But so far as I am aware, I am the only person who's offering the entire suite of treatments that I offer in the UK. And I know absolutely for a fact that two of the facilities that I offer, two of the treatment bases that I offer, are not available anywhere else in the UK.
Right, right. Okay. Well, so it seems to me it's crucial for people to come to see, and I would say earlier rather than waiting. And I understand all the emotionality surrounding it as we touched on earlier. But I mean, I'm sure that you would be on the same sort of track as me, saying, if you suspect you've got a problem, get this, get acting as soon as you possibly can. Take action because the sooner you jump on this, the better. So, I mean, I know also that you actually have a 100% guarantee, don't you? Which I thought was really
Uh,
interesting.
I do.
Yeah.
I have a 100% guarantee for our sleep assistance program.
Ah, right. Okay. Yes.
Many people suffer
Yes.
with insomnia to
Mm,
various degrees, and in dementia particularly, insomnia is a big problem and it's a problem that must be addressed. It's the
mm,
very first problem to address because if you
yes.
don't get regenerative sleep, you are not going to be able to recover. It's that simple.
Mm,
But you can recover beginning with regenerative sleep. So we have a particular protocol which takes 10 weeks from beginning to end, providing that people show up in my office for the required number of treatments, take those treatments, and their sleep will improve. There's no question of it at all. Their sleep will improve. If for any reason their sleep does not improve, it's probably because they haven't been compliant. But even so, I don't care if they've been compliant or they've not been compliant. If they turn up for those 10 sessions and there is no measurable improvement in their sleep quality, I will completely 100% refund the money. I am that confident that there'll be measurable improvement.
that is great. Nothing better than putting your money where your mouth is. I think that is fantastic. Oh, that's absolutely marvelous. It's very interesting about sleep, isn't it? Because, there is this connection between insomnia and the risk of developing Alzheimer's and other dementias. And it's a very interesting one, I always think, because we're not sure, there's this sort of chicken and egg question. Is
Yes.
it the lack of sleep that causes, or is it something like a forerunner to the development of symptoms? Is it something that is sort of part and parcel of the actual pathology itself? I don't know if you've any thoughts on that at all, Patricia.
It has been clinically proven that insomnia is a causative factor.
Right.
It's not the only causative factor, of
Yes.
course, and it has been clinically proven that regenerative sleep does assist. The reason that it assists is that in the brain, we all have these clever little cells running about like mad, keeping us well. Those cells have got to be nourished. They've got to be cleaned just the way your body would be cleaned. So we nourish them with the various protocols, but how they get cleaned is in sleep. So therefore, if you are not getting the right quantity of deep REM sleep, as it's called, and various other cycles in your sleep cycle are specifically required to give the mitochondria what they need.
Mhm.
And when the mitochondria get what they need, they can work harder and they begin to reverse your condition.
Yes.
So sleep is utterly essential. And that's why I offer the money back guarantee, because that is where people can begin and they can begin with great confidence.
Oh, fabulous. This is just absolutely just fantastic. Wow, I I feel quite sad that I've got to, because obviously it's a CMA showcase video, and I could quite honestly just sit here and speak with you all day. We'll definitely bring you back. I would love
Thank
to
you.
bring you back for a sort of a full-blown tutorial on this, because I think it's so important, not just for our lay listeners and viewers, but actually for our practitioner listeners and viewers, because what you're talking about is, we've all got these clients who will come to us and say, I'm just not sleeping, and we all know that this is a big red flag from so many different angles from the health perspective. So Patricia, I'm going to ask you to just wrap up by saying, how do people find you? But I also just want to promise our readers our viewers and listeners that we'll be able to get more of you in the not too distant future. I know you're a very busy lady because you've got some exciting things coming up. So why don't you tell us about that and where people can find you?
Thank you so much, Jayney. I would be more than happy to come back at any time, and more than happy to help practitioners in any way in my power, because the more people who learn my methods, the more people there will be to help the general population. And that's the important thing, because people are being told quite falsely that there's no help for them. There's real hope, and we want that message promulgated. I have a very small little 2 treatment rooms inside a much larger facility, which is a health club located at the Hampshire Court Hotel and Spa. So anyone who wants to get in touch with me can call the Hampshire Court Hotel and Spa Health Club. They will get put through to the reception team, who will either put them through to me or let them know what my availability is. They are more than welcome to come. They can even drop in at hotel reception if they happen to live very locally. And we will do our utmost to help them in every way possible. I shall also, towards much closer to Christmas, it will be my Christmas gift, I shall be putting out very, very detailed videos describing how people can help themselves, describing how practitioners can help them, and inviting them to come into group coaching sessions where I can answer all their questions and help them. So the starting point is the Hampshire Court Hotel and Spa Health Club. Get in touch with them. They are located in Hampshire as a private sanctuary in Basingstoke, at Chinham in Basingstoke. They should come there as their starting point, and if they're coming along later, then there will be videos and there will be the opportunity to get help online via group coaching sessions.
Fantastic. This is just so exciting. Thank you very, very much indeed. So we'll finish for today, but we will see you again soon. Absolutely. And I just want to thank you so much, Patricia. The work you're doing is so spectacularly important, and you're making such a difference to so many lives. So I can only thank you from the bottom of my heart, and the team here at the CMA. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Jayney. I'm deeply grateful to you for helping to spread the word. There is real hope for dementia. Do not listen to people who tell you there's no help.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.